Welcome to Mediaverse Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Platinum Star Games because we just felt like they needed a shout out. Sorry, Dean and Jack, but we love you. So welcome to the Mediaverse Podcast where we're going to be talking about wait, there we go. Spider-Man No Way Home. And sorry for the delay, but people would murder us. We got spoilers out there that so quickly. Mm-hmm. I almost had a guy shank me for almost spoiling something. But
yeah, this is a bad one because this one, like, if you spoil things, it completely ruins the film for you.
It ruins the excitement. It's like the level of spoilers. It's the level of Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
But it continues Peter Parker's legacy of teaming up with MCU heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Does Nick Fury count?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, but yeah, basically, pretty much. Just so you know, I'm Kyle as always. Mm-hmm. This is Tom. We are followed by AJ.
Hello.
We all saw Spider-Man No Way Home together on Friday opening night, but we got so busy with life with Christmas and everything going on, so finally we were together to talk about this movie. Mm-hmm. And we saw it in IMAX, which when I got the tickets, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I had to pull a trigger, and I was wondering if you guys were okay with it.
It sucked because, like, the IMAX was a better experience, but the theater, oh my god. The seats were so... They were torn up. Everyone was
Mom
a
and
cuddle seat.
Everybody.
They didn't recline.
Well, yeah, but you know why they did that, right?
Why?
Chris told me they did that so they can put as many people in there as possible.
That doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Like, you notice the rows are a little bit narrower, though?
Yeah, but why would they do that for the IMAX theater?
It did seem a little closer.
Like, you notice there's, like, a lot more seats, that's why.
Yeah, every seat was a cuddle seat.
Yeah.
Or the armrests were just broken.
Yeah.
And we just kept lifting them.
We didn't have a terrible time. It was just like...
literally this close to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like, we didn't have a terrible time.
Also, my straw... Can we talk about the fact that paper straws suck?
Just so you know, if you're wondering, we live in New Jersey because our governor's trying to save the penguins or something.
They fixed the problem, though.
Yeah.
Well, you mean the turtles and the penguins.
Turtles and the penguins.
So we got paper straws, like the really bad paper ones, like flat out paper. So now what they have is they have like the biodegradable paper ones. You're just checking to make sure?
Yeah, I'm just checking to make sure. Sorry, we're just trying to make sure we're good.
Yeah, so now they have the biodegradable ones, which is still plastic, but not actual plastic. It's like biodegradable, so it's like healthier.
Oh yeah, tell them about
like
your
plastic.
experience.
So yeah, that's what I'm getting to. So I got an icy, which paper and icy does not mix.
No.
The second I got to my seat, I couldn't even slurp my icy. Like, the paper was just melted in the icy. And it was horrible. I had to pull the straw out. I had to pick the cup up, like, hold it sideways, and, like, slap the icy out. It was...
Everybody, this is also Tom's terrible review of paper straws.
Yeah, paper straws. Yeah, you know what? Fuck the No Way Home. I'm going to talk about paper straws.
Gonna talk about paper straws the
Paper
whole
straws
time.
are a problem. But no, they fixed it because when me and Jay went, they had biodegradable, which was still like a plastic.
With real, right?
Yeah. No. We went to Brunswick Square, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but.
Well, I'm just making sure.
AMC. I don't know how that one stays in business. There was.
My friend. I used to work with AMC. One of my buddies was the general manager of that one.
Cigarette?
No, Brunswick.
New Brunswick. It's actually a pretty big theater, but I actually have a friend. Not naming him.
For a tiny mall.
I'm not naming this person out of respect. I actually know somebody that was the general manager of that place.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, but anyway, not talking about AMC.
Yeah.
I'm
just asking
paper
you.
Straws. Okay, paper straw review, 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Dude,
a 0 out of 5.
You just bring bring a metal straw or something. Eh?
Bring a metal straw.
Yeah, honestly.
That'd probably be better than.
You want to save the turtles? Just buy a metal straw.
Yeah, I mean, Razer is making those now, right?
Razer. I mean, they did masks, which they don't light up. So shame on Razer. There's no RGB.
Yeah.
Their straw better light up.
I had to sneak in a metal straw around gaming.
Okay. Anyway, all right, No Way Home.
Okay, so No Way Home. Peter Benjamin Parker, is that his full name? No, I don't think
that sounds right. Benjamin.
I don't even know what Peter Parker. We need the Google Meister.
Keep going.
But he pretty much got his pretty much. If you saw Far From Home, which spoilers for like a 4-year-old movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's 4 years.
Well, first of all, let's talk about how it does pick up from the
That's what I'm
last
saying.
movie.
That's what I'm saying. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say like that.
Yeah, Benjamin.
Wow, I
That's
actually remembered that.
That's an alter
That's
ego.
crazy. Just pulling that out of your
Peter
butt.
Benjamin. Yeah, I guess he was named after his uncle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uncle Ben Ben.
Yeah, yeah, Peter, like, pretty much his secret gets exposed because Mysterio pretty much makes a doctrinate photo of him just, like, saying, like, he reveals his identity, and then you see him in Times Square, and it's exposed by the wonderful reprising J.K. Simmons, which he's pretty much the InfoWorld guy.
Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah,
Mhm.
J. Jonah. No, what he's portrayed as is Alex. What's his name? InfoWars.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much him, Alex. I can't say his name.
Yeah, but basically, what ends up happening?
Alex Jones. I think.
Yeah, what Kyle was saying is basically the way
Yep.
that the second one ended was he beats Mysterio, right? And but as a last ditch effort to like make his life hell before he gets murdered by the robots, which we know that Peter didn't do that. He, Mysterio
Manipulate the video.
Yeah, he manipulated all the footage.
Making it
And
seem
also,
like
if
it's
everybody
all-
knows, the second one is really important in this to understand how this film goes. Because the second one, Mysterio made himself seem like he's the world's greatest hero about to stop like an Avengers level threat from happening. And then it all ended up being fake. It just turns out that he's a part of the like best doctoring like basically a movie company almost like a
Well,
a fake like a
Don't forget, in
like
it kind of goes back to Mysterio's origin because he was actually a stunt actor.
yeah.
So they're trying to keep it with him, but he kind of.
So basically, it's all fake. Like they have a team that does everything and make it seem hyper realistic.
Drones.
With drones and stuff. And then basically the whole point is he wanted to get Stark's technology to become like the next Iron Man and be like a real villain hero kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he ends up giving it to him and then finds out his true.
You don't have to go
intentions.
for No Way Home.
No, I know. But,
You could have just said.
But it's important.
You could
It's
just say
important.
he got Tony Stark's drones.
Yeah.
And just been like, Mysterio just exposed it, greatest
But
doctor. That would have been the shortest way to do it.
Yeah, but it's important because this is the entire film.
Yeah.
Is Mysterio ruining everything.
Yeah,
basically.
but that's how it starts off, and I was like, "Oh my god!" As soon as you get Spider-Man figured out, he just goes, "Whoop!" And like one of the guys just go, "I'm gonna get you!" I was like, "Oh my god!" People got so violent. Mysterio's the greatest.
Yeah, they're like throwing paint and stuff.
Oh my god, Mysterio's the #1 hero in the world. I'm like, oh
So
my
he
god.
swings home to find that Happy and Aunt May broke up.
We're kind of.
Yeah, she said it was a fling, and like he's like, while all this bad shit's happening, he's trying to like sit them down and talk to them. That was a really funny scene. Everything sad was
That was a
happening,
great
and he's
scene.
like trying to swing Mary Jane home, and like
Yeah.
Well, first of
He's
all,
trying to
you
swing
guys have
MJ
to
home.
come out and say, are you dating?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah, because this movie takes up like several minutes afterwards, and then several months, like a couple months later
So then,
too.
yes, all the news show up. He basically
Gets arrested by damage control, which is in the first movie.
Yes. So he gets arrested. They
All
all
of his
get arrested.
friends.
The family and everything, and they tell them about what happened, and like they tell him to lawyer up because we're gonna drop charges on you. You're gonna end up in prison. Like they tell Aunt May that she's gonna get like child endangerment because remember Peter's still like 17 when this is happening.
Right.
Technically, he's supposed to be like 17.
Yeah.
So like I think he turns 18 in the film. So he's like 18 by the time the film ends.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So
Child
after
endangerment
that-
in my butt because
after they talk to them,
child endangerment in my butt. Listen, if your boy has like spider powers, wouldn't you want to make him do the best thing?
yeah. Well, these vigilante task force, they suck. Like they're all full shit.
I know.
And then
I'm just making an argument going.
Right.
Oh, so if an alien invasion happens, you don't want your boy to voluntarily fight? No, it's child endangerment.
Yeah,
Congratulations, you're an idiot.
Yeah, it's stupid. I'm sorry, one of the strongest superheroes isn't supposed to participate. But anyway,
Yeah.
so after showing all the scenes of them getting interviewed and screwing up a lot,
They
and
moved
just
to Happy's place.
So then they go.
Which is dope, by the way.
Yeah,
I loved his apartment.
They go to Happy's place, which then they get visited by our first big spoiler. So if you haven't seen it, just
also it's been all over the internet before this happened.
Yeah, because people spoiled that Kingpin was coming back.
Well, there was people.
It
was the actor who was doing that.
Yeah,
actually.
Even before the Hawkeye, thing happened, like the actor, was talking about, that he was going to be reprising the role, which kind of fucked with everything. But then people were questioning about, Maddie M, which the first big spoiler is that Matt Murdock from the Netflix series
came back
and was their lawyer and got them completely off of the charges.
Hilariously, before we go back into the Matt Murdock thing, Kevin Feige, the week of it, kind of confirmed that Matt Murdock he's like, if we're gonna do Daredevil, it was gonna be Charlie Cox.
Mm-hmm.
He even said that before, and I'm like, okay, this is starting to become too coincidental.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So.
And then also, they lied about all of this.
Yeah.
Because, they told them that it wasn't going to happen. They said, we're not going to see Daredevil till She-Hulk.
Listen, there were so many spoilers where my brain just blew up. I'm like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah, honestly. Because people were,
everything was coming out.
Yeah. We'll get to the clip of, all them fighting, because we'll bring that up when that happens. Because that's the one everybody was talking about in the trailer. That it's like, oh, someone's getting punched here, and, but nobody's there. It's like Reptile got punched. Yeah, they covered it up.
No, my
favorite, the Infinity War cover up.
No, my favorite one is see that hand right there when he puts down the heart. That's Matt Murdock's hand, and I'm just like, I want to punch every one of these.
But everybody was right, though.
Everyone was right.
Because they said he's going to get him out of prison.
But Charlie Cox was more right, because that wasn't his hand.
But we only seen him for a few minutes.
Yeah, which I was a little upset. I was hoping... I mean, he got to do his cool little thing where he caught that thing, and he's like, how the hell did you do that? Yeah.
No, he's just a really good lawyer, and I'm fine. I'm fine with it, because...
He caught it, handed it to Peter. He's like...
All you need to do is...
the look he did when it was like... Oh, you have no idea.
The thing is, me and Chris were talking about this.
I'm a really good lawyer.
Me and Chris were talking about this. It's he just needs to be Matt Murdock the lawyer. He doesn't need to be Daredevil or anything, and that's fine. It serves the plot, gets him off the hook.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but I would like to see him a little bit. I think he's cool to give speeches. He's good for that kind of thing, to be the bottom level.
It's also kind of like saying, hey. We're gonna see more Daredevil.
It would be cool if they chose to do a film with them or anything. I don't know.
I can see it happen.
A Defenders level thing, or maybe just do another show. I don't know.
We'll find out. They might just do a Daredevil movie.
I wonder who else they want to add, because they've only done.
Just said that they might do another Daredevil movie.
They've only done Kingpin and Daredevil adding back yet. We haven't heard about Punisher or Luke Cage or
Iron Fist. I have a feeling.
Jessica Jones.
I have a feeling Iron Fist is not coming back though.
Yeah, no, that was kind of crap.
I think they're gonna reboot him, and we're gonna get an Asian version because they're introducing a new iteration of Iron Fist.
Cool. I'm cool with it.
I'm cool with an Asian version because that's where the culture comes from.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
they're not gonna retire Danny.
Yeah, so this is where Matt Murdock comes in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt Murdock is fine. Mm-hmm. We know he's in the MCU. We know he's officially in the MCU camp. We just don't know if the show happens. We'll find out eventually. So after that, Peter goes to school, and
there's a bunch of paparazzi waiting outside.
Protesters.
Mm-hmm. Half loving him, half hating him.
And apparently Flash Thompson and Peter Parker are best friends.
That's what Flash Thompson said. He even writes a book called Flashpoint, which is kind of funny because Flashpoint is based off of a DC.
Oh no, he said Into the Spider-Verse. That's literally what the book was called, The Spider-Verse or something like that. I was like,
no, you mean No, it was Flashpoint. No, the book was called Flashpoint. I just watched it last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was called.
Oh yes, I get it. Flashpoint. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because it's because he's
his name.
Yeah, which is funny because Flashpoint is.
It's actually funny though. This version of the third iteration of Flash, right now.
Who is the least dick?
Oh no, he has the yellow. He has yellow. He has blonde hair.
He's less of a dick.
Yeah,
than all the other
one.
Flash Thompsons, because all the other they're fighting him and like
Oh no, this Flash Thompson is a dick. If you think about it, the least dickish
Yeah,
is
but-
the amazing one.
Yeah, but he's
I
more
don't know,
wimpy,
man.
though.
I think this
The
one.
last-
He's more
I think,
psychological.
I
Yeah.
think this Flash Thompson is more of just like a pompous kind of
That's
asshole, as
better.
where the other ones were like actual bullies.
The last two were like all like big and jacked.
Yeah, and like
yeah.
real bullies.
Yeah.
This Flash Thompson is a nerd that's going to MIT.
Right.
Yep.
Like, this is
Good
very
for
different.
him.
Yeah, good for him.
He
Good
watch.
for
He's
him.
gonna get
Love that
kicked out of
for him.
MTech.
Yeah, this is the
Watch.
2021
That's
Flash
great.
Thompson.
Watch. He's
This
gonna
is
get
the
kicked.
This is the Gen X Flash Thompson.
No. You want me to tell you what's gonna happen? And in the next one, you're gonna find out Flash Thompson is gonna be kicked out of MIT, join the military, and then gets his leg cut off, and then
Venom.
yup.
Yeah.
Although I don't think the MCU
The
would go.
symbiote. He's gonna be stationed in Mexico where the symbiote was because that's
Uh-huh.
where
Yes.
Venom was at the end of the.
I feel like they might.
Which oh shit, we can't talk about that yet.
We'll talk about that later. We
Yeah,
are
that's-
spoiling a lot.
Okay, so anyway, but go ahead.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
so
like that.
he goes to school.
Yeah,
right? He's
two
having a
teachers
hard-
love
he's
him.
having-
One of them
yeah,
loves him.
You
And
said you're a murderer. He's like, I'm not gonna act like you're not a murderer. Like it's crazy.
those are just crazy conspiracies.
Yeah.
What's his name? Oh my god.
It's Hannibal Buress.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal
yeah.
Buress.
Yeah. So
Like roasted him completely.
yeah, he gave no fucks. But they made like a shrine for him, basically, to honor him.
Yeah.
That's
and-
Which
like
is kinda
all
creepy.
Old school
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Or
and
Crawl.
everybody's just staring at him, and his last year of high school is going to be literally horrible.
Yeah.
So like they go on the
Yes.
roof and they find out,
Foreshadowing,
one funny
real.
comment that they were reading in the newspaper is that Spider-Man has like a power to like take control of girls or something, which is why Mary Jane or MJ, likes him. And she's like, "Yes, my Spider Lord."
I love that. I love that.
She's
That
funny.
scene with them on the
The
on the
rooftop.
roof was kind of like setting everything up and
Mhm.
it was a really good scene.
Yeah, they were
Nice.
talking about going to college
Going to
and how
college.
he
All
he
three
might
of
be
them.
a Spider-Man
Yeah.
in Boston, because MIT is their first choice, and then so they
Of
all
course
apply.
Boston has crime, right?
Yeah, of course. They all apply. They all get denied because of what happened with Spider-Man and everything. They said they don't want to take somebody. They don't want to have a liability.
Yeah, which should be bullshit.
Yeah, but Kyle, think about it. Like, if people are coming to attack Spider-Man, do you think that they want to deal with that at a college?
That's true.
Think about that logically. Imagine
I
if
can
you're,
understand Spider-Man.
Imagine if you're
Listen, I can understand Spider-Man, but his
but they're
friends.
affiliated with it is the
Yeah.
problem. So like, they're known to be a part of it. So like, they're just as affiliated as he is.
Yeah.
So like, that's why they're a liability. Which
Well, I
is-
didn't ask this question. If Todd Thompson had a book out, how did he get an MIT? But
because he's not actually friends with them, Kyle.
No, he wrote a book saying he's friends with Spider-Man.
Yeah, but how many people actually
Think
read
about
Yeah,
that.
but-
Yeah,
I wrote a
How the hell
best-selling.
did he get that book published, though?
yeah. Honestly,
Like,
Yeah.
Think about that though. If you have a book that says I'm friends with
Isn't
Peter
he
Parker,
rich? Isn't his family rich?
I think so.
oh, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like they should have pulled him down. Like you're friends with Spider-Man, we can't have you. Like
Whatever, but it's fine. So they
I'm just
they
making
get
it.
they,
I'm just putting
they,
ball
get
in my
they
hole.
get denied to every college. So now this is where all the bullshit comes in. So they start talking, and Peter's like, "Okay." He's like, "I'm gonna go to Doctor Strange." and see if
He
can do
looks at a
something about it."
wizarding ornament like in the
Yeah,
trailer, and
yeah.
he goes, "I have an idea."
Yeah, so he's gonna go.
Brain blast.
He's gonna go. He goes to talk to Doctor Strange, which he calls him Sir, and he's like, "Look, we saved the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me Sir." And he's like, "Okay, Sir Steven," or whatever he calls him.
No,
He's
Steven.
just Steven. And he's like,
Steven.
"You know what?
Says-
Something feels weird about
Yeah.
it."
no, it's like that's a little weird, but I'll allow it.
He's like, "That's a little weird, but I'll allow it."
I thought you could
And
say
then so
Doctor
He
Strange.
asks him if he has
Also-
any. He tells him about everything that happened. They kind of cut through. it
Don't
all.
forget, they did do something that implied, like before he reveals everything, he does imply something pretty important though.
Which is what?
Doctor Strange is not the Sorcerer
Oh no, he's
Supreme
not the
anymore.
source. Yeah, because
Oh,
he
yeah.
blipped out of existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because he
Wong
was-
is now the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, because
Wong,
of technicality.
of all
yeah.
people.
Because this is a technicality.
Yeah,
And
under
I
a
mean,
technical-
Wong was a part of saving the entire universe. You know, in
Yeah,
the first
but
movie.
that's
Yeah.
kind of important. 'cause
and the
that's
other guy
kind of-
left, so
he
it's like
technically
Wong.
did bring everybody
Wong,
back.
Wong is the only one that was really left
Yeah.
after the Doctor Strange. So
Yeah, and I'm
but
just bringing that up because
But he
like,
is-
it is gonna play something
he
important.
didn't get
he is still Doctor Strange.
Not in
got
the
snapped.
movie. Next
No.
movie.
Doctor Strange got snapped. But
Yeah,
not
for
Wong,
5 years.
Right?
Yeah.
Wong, no, Wong did not.
Wong was revealed not to be the one of the people that got snapped.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, which is why. How else would it happen? He had to have
Yeah.
not been snapped.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, he still leads the New York Sanctum Sanctorum, but basically, he goes there, asks Doctor Strange if he can help. He explains the whole situation to him that, him getting revealed as Spider-Man is the worst thing that's ever happened. He says that he doesn't have the Time Stone anymore, so that he can't, do anything about it. And then also the entire place is covered in ice because apparently the seal on one of the places got loose, so the entire sanctum got covered with snow, which is just like a funny little thing that they showed. I don't know why they felt like doing it, but
Awesome.
it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But so the whole place was iced over. But anyway, so Wong made a comment where he's like, sometimes it's best to just forget everything and move on. And then it jogs a memory with Doctor Strange that he's like, oh, well, there is this one spell that we've used before. And he's like, Wong, you remember the party on some name that I can't remember?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I don't. He's like, exactly. And he's like, so it's a spell that makes everybody forget something, which the sorcerers use when they party too hard and fuck things up, apparently. So he remembers this. So they go in the basement. He said that he'll help him and do this. But he keeps...
By the way, is a tomb that was
it's a crypt.
Existed for years.
Yeah, the crypt. Yeah.
It's also where he saw one of the movies, I think.
Yeah, the crypt. But yeah, so basically, the under crypt, whatever he called it.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, so basically he starts casting the spell, and Peter starts asking for a couple people to be excluded from it, which starts making the spell too complicated, and it fucks everything up, and he makes a complete wrong spell, which actually we shouldn't say it yet because it's not even revealed yet what it is. We find out later.
Yeah, we kind of figure
find
out
after
later.
Otto shows up.
Yeah.
So he fucks the spell up. Strange kind of contains it, and it doesn't end up working.
Yeah.
And they don't realize what happens right away. But so he has a conversation with Peter, and he's like, "Look," he's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "I can't really do anything." He's like, "This didn't work," and he's like, he's like, "If you've applied to all these places and called and asked, if double check to make sure, pleaded your case with them," and he's like, "You can do that?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "You mean that I was about to change the entire universe and you haven't even called and followed up to see about that?" And he's like, "Peter," he's like, "sometimes, he's like, I know that we saved the universe and stuff together, but sometimes I forget that you're just a kid." And I'm like, that's a great line. So anyway, he leaves. He calls Flash and asks about that MIT mixer because Flash told him when they were opening their Boston letters that, he's going to an MIT mixer. And he finds out that one of, the head people that, accepts everybody in the school is going to be there and is, driving to the airport right now. So he puts on a suit and, swings over to her.
With the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah, with the Iron Spider suit. And then we find...
He's also disconnected from Stark.
Yes. So he gets all the way there, and then some cars start getting thrown, and some stuff starts happening. And our first crossover boy shows up, Dr. Otto.
Doc Ock.
I remember when we were in the theater in IMAX how big it was and how crazy, and then people got applauded.
See, this got spoiled for us already, though. We knew that we knew that Sandman, we knew that Reptile.
No, what happened was we knew Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx was the first one to spoil it. He wasn't even supposed to say anything. He put it on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh God."
No, but that's because in the trailer they showed all three. They showed all three of them.
I know that.
You heard the Green.
I'm talking about announcements.
You heard the Green Goblin voice.
Yeah.
Right in the trailer. You saw them on the bridge, and then in the last scene you saw Sandman, Reptile, and Electro.
That's in the
all
second
of those
trailer.
were spoiled in the trailer. Yeah, in the second trailer, but it was still spoiled.
Yeah.
So yeah, but what I'm saying is we knew that this was happening. This is everybody we knew that was going to be in the film.
Yeah.
So for people, this is the thing about this film, is that you had to have seen the other Spider-Mans. This is 20 years of Spider.
This is like a celebration.
We don't check. The first Spider-Man came out 01 when we checked.
Oh no!
It was 01 or 02. Yeah.
02.
So it's 20 years of Spider-Man.
Yeah, this is like a love letter to Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's pretty much
honestly.
a love letter.
So he shows up, right? And they start
I
battling.
remember when he appeared and everyone started applauding.
Yeah, people were freaking out.
We're like, oh my god!
Yeah, and like Matt Murdock too.
Yeah.
Like people
Yeah.
were freaking out when they showed him. We're like, oh my god, we're gonna get
The
because that
reaction.
Netflix show is so popular.
Yeah.
That Netflix series did really well.
Yep.
The only one that didn't do super well is Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And everything else did really well.
Yeah.
Like people love that. Jessica Jones had
I
one of the
love
best
Jessica
films of all
Jones.
time. But anyway, before
Before we get into tangents.
but
You know
yeah,
how
so
we get tangents.
Otto is they get in a fight, and what ends up happening at the end of the fight, not getting into too specifics, is he breaks, like he hits the suit, and some of the nanotechnology comes off, and Otto absorbs.
I will say this. It was probably one of the best, like, like you think, like if you watch the trailers, Dr. Octopus is getting an upgrade.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the best left curds I've ever seen.
Yeah, because in the commercial, in the trailer, it seemed like he was getting an upgrade. You're right. But then in the movie, it actually turned out that
It's a downgrade.
Yeah, he had a full control because the spider nanobots, Peter has control over. So when he took the nanobots and he tries to like murder him, he just like beep boops a little bit on his wrist because some Stark technology, and then controls him.
You forgot the part where the IT, the principal of the IT, slams into a bridge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, that's going in.
Yeah. So the lady who's in charge of college
MIT.
admission at MIT. Yeah, so she's getting attacked by Otto, and he's got to save her, and she's dangling on a bridge.
Yeah.
So Peter controls the arms and picks up the car with the arms because now he's in full control of who he doesn't even know who it is yet. Yeah. And what's cool is that his face gets revealed, and they have a moment where he's like, "You're not Peter Parker." He's like, "You're not my Peter Parker," and he's like, "I have no idea what you're saying." And basically, so that starts giving us a little gush. So they get back on the bridge. He talks to the MIT lady. She says, "I'm going to put in the good word." Because Peter was only asking for his friends. He didn't care about himself.
Yeah.
So she said, "I'm going to put in the good word for your friends and you." And he's like, "No, don't worry about me." He's like, "No, look, and you." And he's like, "Okay,
you saved
good.
my life.
Right,
I will see if I can help you out."
He's like, "Good. Okay, cool." So Peter's going to get into MIT. Not going to matter by the end of the film, but whatever.
We'll explain why.
So then what ends up happening, he has a small conversation with Otto as he's controlling him, and then they get teleported to the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yep.
Oh, no. First, you hear ha 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 ha. And
that's William Dafoe. He's in the first movie.
Yeah. So you hear the ha ha ha.
Sorry, I watched the
and then
pitch
some
meetings.
of the cars blow up. And then they get sent to the Sanctum Sanctorum. So you get a little nut tease of the Goblin. So man, that laugh.
And I guess Octavius recognized him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew who he was. And he started freaking out. He started freaking out because he thought that he was dead already.
He thought it was dead.
But the thing is if anybody has seen Spider-Man 2, you know that Otto dies also.
Right.
I mean, technically we didn't see the body, but he died. He got that building dropped on him. Drowned in a pool because he tried to make the sun.
Sorry, I'm just putting up this.
Well, we don't see him next. We see Reptile next.
No, I'm just getting him ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Reptile. He's not a Mortal Kombat character.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's Lizard.
Lizard.
Yeah.
Lizard. Yeah, you do see him next.
Yeah, well, because he's in the cage.
Yeah.
So the next two people we'll see, because they go to the Sanctum Sanctorum.
He's the villain.
I've seen it twice now, so I
gotta handle. No, I was gonna go then. He's the villain in the rebooted movie, the first villain in the rebooted trilogy, in the rebooted movie.
Yeah, so he's in the first one?
Yeah. I say he's the villain in the reboot.
Right? Yeah. Lizard's in the first one, right. So,
I just watched them all.
Basically, which is the Amazing Universe, which, they have an amazing moment about that later on, which we'll talk about. So, are you showing the...
I'm trying to get Lizard. It gave me a YouTube video. Thanks a lot, guy.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, no, it's fine. You can just show it like that.
There we go.
Fine. Yeah, it's
fine.
We're
going to go to Electro eventually.
Okay, yeah. So basically, they get teleported into the Sanctum Sanctorum, and then now we figure out what happens with the spell. So Spider-Man accidentally messed it up and sent everybody to the universe that knows...
I want to go see it again.
That knows who he is, right?
Yeah.
So, who knows who Peter Parker is? That knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So he actually accidentally flopped it and made it 100 times worse. So these people start coming from other universes that all know who Peter Parker is.
Yep.
So we've seen the Lizard, and we've seen
Otto and Green Goblin.
We heard the Green Goblin, but we didn't really.
I thought
see
it was Green Elf.
Which is what they call it. So Doctor Strange explains to him that he needs to fix this. He upgrades his gauntlet to be able to shoot people into the Sanctum Sanctorum prison, which is a really broken upgrade.
Which
because
that whole entire Sanctum is incredible.
Yeah, we still there's like stuff in the Sanctum that we haven't even seen yet that we probably see eventually.
Well, yeah, probably in the next Doctor Strange film.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, when the which we'll talk about because that was at the end. They showed the trailer to the next one at the end.
Which a lot of people I think was really great.
Yeah, no, I like that honestly because that's like an exclusive look. Like only you know about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. And then they didn't show the trailer for a couple weeks. Like they didn't put it on YouTube or like put it out for people for a couple weeks. Yeah. Which is cool. You feel like you're.
It felt like Comic-Con.
You feel like you're a part of an exclusive club. Yeah. So So he tells him that he's got to fix this, but he asks that he needs some help. So he gets his boy and his lady friend, and he has them come to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and then they have they have a conversation back and forth, like MJ being MJ, where she's like, you screwed this up too, Doctor. So how about some gratitude?
Please, Scooby-Doo.
Like, yeah, because he said, I need you kids to Scooby-Doo this shit.
And then he's like, know a magic word.
He's like, I also know a magic word. And then she's like, he's like, please Scooby-Doo this shit. But yeah, so they go downstairs and they're talking to Otto. He now explains that his name is Dr. Otto Octavius, and they laugh at his name.
I mean, it does sound like a ridiculous name. It does sound like a ridiculous name. Even
so then he explains to him that he knows that the voice was Goblin, but he knows that he died and all this shit.
Which is pretty cool because everybody gave everybody their old background.
And if you know from the film Lizard, did he die? He did die.
No, he didn't. He didn't. He didn't die.
Yeah, in the first one.
Nope, he never died.
He
He got captured, but I think they kind of were like at the moment of defeat or death. I think.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah.
But here's the problem though with that spell where it says no. Jamie Foxx never knew Spider-Man's secret identity. He never knew. The Jamie Foxx Electro never knew. He was just a.
But he knew Peter Parker.
He never knew Peter Parker. He just knew Spider-Man.
But he knew him by name.
No, he never knew him by name. He just knew Spider-Man.
Actually,
No, I thought that they both worked at Oscorp. What are you talking about?
No, he never. No, Andrew Garfield never revealed himself to Electro.
He never knew Peter Parker's real name.
But he knew Peter Parker.
He knew about Spider-Man.
That's
what it was. He was so affectionate with
in a very
Spider-Man.
creepy way. Kevin Feige told him, take that scene out. Stop making you're making Electro creepier than you should.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so anyway,
that was one of the that's one of the big things that.
So anyway, they talk about where they need to go next, and they notice online that somebody posts about a monster that's flying around. So they go and investigate it, and it ends up being Electro. Jamie Foxx, which everybody was clapping for.
Oh yeah.
They have a fight. He battles it out. He sends him. He ends up fucking with the Transformers in the area to take the electricity out of him, and then sends him to the Sanctum. So now he caught 3 of them. Oh, and Sandman shows up to save him.
Yeah,
which he also gets sent to the Sanctum.
By the way, he's very pun intended. He's a softie.
He's also there's a lot of.
He's always been a softie, and he's also the perfect battle for electricity,
Which that was amazing.
Because he thought that it was his Peter, which was the thing. And if you remember, at the end of the 3rd film, they were friends by the end of the last film.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, but another thing about this one though is I don't like the Sandman. He just seems like I just want to go with the flow, whatever. It's really weird. I like him
because he was never really in he only did the villain thing to help his daughter.
And I know not
when Peter disconnected it from him, he
no. It's just he's the good person. He's he knows Peter Parker, but then it's now I'll just be bad for a little bit. I'll just follow the villains.
Because I guess he just kind of gave up. I don't know. He turned around on it pretty quickly. But
oh yeah, no, he always turned around 5 seconds. All right, I'm a villain again. Out of nowhere.
Because he's just never. He's always kind of been like that, I guess, in these films. He's just always been back and forth. He's never been fully there,
Yeah, it was just always weird with me.
Kind of like the Punisher.
Yeah.
He's kind of just always blurring the line of anti-villain.
Yeah, but it was like, okay.
If it wasn't for, Sandman, I don't think we would have caught Electro, because
Yeah, he kind of saved him.
He was like really,
Yeah, he put a tornado around him to
Yeah.
contain it while Peter was ripping up the Transformers. But yeah, so anyway, they both get sent to the Sanctum Sanctorum along with a tree, which which Ned thinks.
Can we talk about
Ned's like, is this like a talking tree or something? He's like, no, man, that's a tree. That's
Yeah,
a big ass tree.
I don't blame him for talking about that because he did. Don't forget, they did probably see Groot now. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, it's.
I don't blame Ned. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's funny, but
we have our Sinister Five
because our universe has way more things in it than every other universe of all time.
Yeah.
Because like in the other universe, they've never heard of the Avengers or anything like that, so it's whatever. But anyway, so now we have all of our villains. We just haven't seen the Goblin yet. So they end up talking at the Sanctum. They say they got to find the last person.
They kind of got to know each other and figured out what happened.
He gets a call from Aunt May, and then she finds randomly the guy shows up because they show a scene where Goblin is like throwing away his armor, trying to like get away from the bad side, and he ends up
creepy.
He's always had creepy scenes. That's just how he is.
Yeah.
Like even from the Spider-Man films, like he's always had like these creepy, like back and forth speaking in the mirror.
And he
broke
mirrors. His mask.
Yeah, he broke his mask.
I didn't know how flimsy that shit was.
Well, remember
it was so plastic.
He's strong. Remember.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's that the mask broke easily. It's just that. Remember, he powerbombed him through an entire building.
True.
This guy's insanely strong. Like this Green Goblin serum is probably like up to the Captain America one. Like, probably maybe even a little bit stronger. I don't know, but I honestly don't know how they like compare. But basically, he ends up randomly being at Feast where Aunt May works, which is cool that they're adding Feast because like that might tie into Miles Morales later on if they're gonna do a Miles Morales thing. Because usually Miles Morales gets involved with Feast, Yeah. Because his dad usually in the comics is a cop, and
Can we talk about how William Dafoe just kept stealing donuts?
Yeah, he kept stealing donuts.
Like in the, I bet you,
He's like mad hungry.
You know what? I bet you that scene was improv, or like do whatever. Like William Dafoe, they were just having like that nice scene. William Dafoe was like just sitting there.
No,
and
I
just,
would have done the same thing.
So he ends up talking to the Goblin, and Aunt May tells him to help him and try to save everybody, because originally Doctor Strange tells him that he's gonna find a way to send them back, which means that most of them are just gonna die again.
Yeah, because they were brought in.
But because of Aunt May's influence, Peter chooses that it might be better to save them. So when they get back, Doctor Strange puts Goblin in one of the cells and says that he has this cube that is like it can cancel any spell in that it just can cancel any spell. It's like that box. He called it something. I forget what he called it. But it's like, it's what they use to cancel any spell that they need to get canceled. It had some fancy Doctor Strange name for it.
It was kind of like a Pandora's box.
Yeah, let's just call it Pandora's box.
Sure. So basically Peter's like, I don't know. He's like, I think it would be good to maybe try and save them before they go back. He's like, they don't have to go back exactly the way they were. And he's like, no. He's like, we don't want to mess with, any of their universes. He's like, what they did, like, he's like, they probably deserved, or like, then they had this spat. And Peter ends up stealing the cube, and then they get a Doctor Strange Peter fight, and they end up in the mirror universe.
Yeah, where Doctor Strange is all powerful.
Yeah, but Peter uses his
math.
brain.
He outmathed him.
Yeah, he uses math and ends up trapping him because he realizes that it's like a geometry problem, and then he ends up trapping him in there for hours.
You want me to tell you something?
He says he ended up dangling over the Grand Canyon for 12 hours. You
want to hear something really funny that I was like, where Doctor Strange was like trying to prevent Peter from before heading into the mirror world. Someone will say, as you can see here, and I was like, this is probably special effects not working, right? There's another web coming out of nowhere. I'm like, or it could just be Doctor Strange just pulling a portal and reversing it so he gets the portal to bring it back to him. It's just the effects are not there because they've done that before. And, like the Grand Canyon, like the whole scene where he's like over the Grand Canyon, that scene was, if you see in a trailer and then see it on the television and then you watch it on the movie, it is much more grander than it was in the trailer.
Oh, totally. Well, they always do that.
Yeah, like that's what people don't understand. Like these movies are being made while like in motion.
Yeah, exactly. Up until the last bit. So they have a fight. Peter ends up stealing the cube and then leaves Doctor Strange in the Mirrorverse.
Yep.
Which his ring comes out and Ned takes his ring.
Yeah.
You know, his
there's a callback where he says, "I think it might be a little magic."
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange says, "You might want to consult the doctor about that."
Mm-hmm. But yeah, because he says sometimes I get like a tingle or whatever he called it.
Yeah.
So basically, they end up deciding to take everybody over to Happy's and try to save them. And he's like, "Look, it's either Doctor Strange deletes you guys and sends you guys back, or you come with me, you behave." And he's like, "We try to save all of you so that you can go back and maybe have a better chance of, fixing everything when you go back."
Yeah.
And so Peter ends up helping them. He saves Otto first, which actually works.
Yeah,
he doesn't hear the voices
but
in his
here's
head.
a line I like about Electro, though. He said, "I like this universe. I don't want to leave."
Yeah, he's
He
like, there's a
wants
lot
a-
of power here. Because the Stark technology, which doesn't exist in the other universe.
And it's a lot, and
As where we don't have Oscorp in this universe.
Yeah.
Because that's something that's why Oscorp ended up at Feast, by the way. Because he went to his house, he checked where Oscorp is supposed to be, and it's all gone.
Yeah, or Harry.
Nothing is there. Yeah.
There's no Harry or anything in that universe.
Yeah, because there's no Osborns.
Yeah.
He doesn't exist in this universe. So.
Or they might be in another section, or they might be in San Francisco.
Osborn, no.
Stop it.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Go take his mansion.
I'm just saying that it's like that.
So
you know what I mean?
Yeah. But anyway, he takes them over to Happy's where they have the fabricator, the Stark fabricator.
Yeah, from the first movie, from the second movie. Where
and they start, making.
Don't forget this nice moment Otto has because Spider-Man we were in the advanced suit. He had a nice moment with Otto where he took once he got cured, he
gave all the nanos back. Yeah.
Yeah, and made the new hybrid suit.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a nice little urn. It's kind of like a nice little urn thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then Otto, is now he's Team Hero.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah,
because he never was evil. It was the chip got fried that was supposed to keep the arms from,
Which, by the way, we only got to see that only black and gold suit for only a few minutes.
No, because you know why? You know why it's black and gold? Because Peter Parker turned the advanced suit inside out.
It was inside out, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
remember, gotta sell those toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people all the time. They're like, "Why do they keep changing the suit? How else do I make money without getting toys?"
Yeah, you're right. So, but anyway,
come on.
So next, he's trying to help out Defoe, and he also makes a thing for Electro where he's got to sit there and it's going to take all the energy out of his body. And then so him and Defoe.
Like a time box.
Yeah, him and Defoe start helping it out. Yeah. And as Reptile's sitting in the Feast truck, because they don't know what to do with him.
He doesn't want to go up.
J. Jonah Jameson had somebody follow the Feast truck to Happy's place, and now they're waiting with a camera crew to see if they catch Spider-Man doing something evil. And Reptile ends up breaking out and then start fucking with everything. And so Goblin doesn't want to end up getting helped. He ends up showing that he actually. Which Spider-Man picks up on it, by the way.
Very slowly.
Crazy.
Insane.
That was crazy. Because he just stops and he's listening. And then he just shoots Goblin's hand.
I like how they tried to
His Spidey sense.
I thought it was gonna be Electro for a moment.
Yeah, no.
They made it where it's he's trying to kill everybody.
But then when the Goblin gave the speech, then all of the villains were like, "Yeah, fuck this, we're gods," and then they kind of followed him.
Can we talk about Aunt May though when she comes down the stairs and she's with I guess she was sensing all the bad stuff.
Yeah. She and then she's trying to fight people.
Yeah.
That New York strong woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically they get in a crazy fight and they end up leveling the building. And the scene where we were talking about that Goblin pedigrees Peter.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking power. It's a power bomb when you pick somebody up and do. Yeah, so he power bombs him through the entire building. After towards the end of this fight, and they're down on the bottom, and Aunt May gets knocked down all the way to the bottom, and then Goblin calls in for his his glider and shoots some bombs in there, and then Aunt May and Peter take a lot of damage.
He also starts becoming more of his iconic Goblin.
He starts giving the speeches.
Peter almost stopped the Goblin's bomb, but instead it went off and it kind of shattered everybody.
Yeah, because he's never worked with these things. He doesn't know how they work yet. But basically, so they level almost the entire building, and then the bottom floor is all messed up.
Yeah.
And so
this scene got so intense.
Yeah.
For all of us.
This is where our first character dies in the film.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And this is where I broke down.
I literally broke down because
this is the first time I cried in the film. Also,
I literally
it was a long time since I cried.
So,
I haven't cried like that.
She gives the Uncle Ben with great power comes great responsibility. So Aunt May ends up being the Uncle Ben 3 films in instead of it happening.
You start realizing that this is actually a Spider-Man origin trilogy.
Yeah, because they're doing 3 more films.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they know the other Spider-Mans get stronger after this point happens.
Yeah.
So, which we'll talk about that in a second. But
anyway,
so
I was going to say,
so she gives him this long speech about staying a good person and, all this stuff.
The last time I've actually cried was Logan.
Oh,
Logan, oh my god, that movie was so manly.
Oh, yeah.
But god!
Not Kingsman 2.
Oh god, no, we were just like.
I was like a little baby. I cried like a little baby.
Yeah, I literally was like crying. I still remember when I was sitting just sitting right in the middle of IMAX.
Yeah. But anyway, so Aunt May dies, and he has to leave her because he's got to fly off, and so
but do the right thing.
Right. So he goes off, and we have no idea where he is.
And
so
that's
then it cuts to Ned. It cuts to Ned and MJ.
Yep.
And they're in Ned's mother's or grandmother's house. And so it cuts to hold on.
No, I'm just getting it ready.
It cuts to Ned and MJ talking. They're like, man, we really need to. They almost have a moment where she says she's gonna push the box, but Ned talks her out of it. He's like, he's always come through for us. Like, you gotta listen to what Peter says, and until Peter says push it, don't push it. And so we're like, okay, well, we gotta look for Peter. And then while Ned's got that ring on, he's like, I really wish I could see Peter. And like a tiny little ring shows up for like a split second. And he's like, what was that? He's like, man, yeah. And then
Alright, guys, first, spoilers. There we go.
Yeah, so, so then now, he tries again, and they're trying to focus on it this time. And he's like, man, I really want to see Peter. And it opens like a little bit more, right? And then he's like, okay. And then he does the circle this time with his hand. And he's like, okay. He's like, now try to think quickly. And he's like, all right, show me Peter. And then when he opens it up, our boy, a Spider-Man comes through. But it's not their Spider-Man. It's Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, which I will say this, Andrew Garfield is a really good actor.
I love him.
Like, I'm not just saying it. He was a good at avoiding it.
So underrated.
I still think he's my favorite version of just as a Spider-Man, not his Peter Parker, because he does everything
I grew up with Toby.
Toby I grew up with, like, although, like Derek will say, 30-year-old guy still in high school. Doesn't anyone find it awkward?
But no, I like Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland does them all.
Tom Holland is a great
I think Tom Holland is just the best.
I think he's the embodiment of what Spider-Man should be.
Yeah.
Can we just, before we move on, thank Bob Iger for bringing him back?
Yeah,
I think it wasn't Bob Iger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think this is crazy that, they got...
Don't forget...
How many interviews he did?
Yeah.
He did, like, 15 interviews in the past month. Because everybody wanted to interview him and see if he slipped. And he didn't slip anytime. He lied through his teeth. He told everybody, he's like, I would have loved to be involved with this film, but they never called me. He's like, all of the clips that you guys are seeing are all just fictional. They're other characters that are in the film, and it's not me. He's like, I love all the support. He's like, but I'm not going back to Spider-Man. He said that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm gonna junket for Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah.
And, I guess they all ended up bringing up the fact that it was going to be in this movie.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he was just lying his ass off through all
for
these
a month.
interviews.
For months.
Was incredible.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
I think I would have cracked.
You know what's funny though? I bet you
interview.
this is probably the biggest redemption arc of all because like he got fired. He got fired.
Yeah, because the second film did that bad. Yeah.
No, it's not just that. He got fired. They were gonna do a third film regardless.
Yeah.
What happened was, it was because Sony's such an honorable company. So
don't do it like that, Kyle.
No. Let me explain this. As soon as he did not show up to Brazil Comic-Con, they literally fired him and said, "There's no more Spider-Man 3. That is it."
Yeah, but it's because the second one wasn't.
No, the second one was trying to be a cinematic universe. Let me explain it to you, Tom. We're gonna make a Jackpot movie. We're gonna make a Night Watcher movie. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make an Aunt May movie. An Aunt May movie.
Yeah, I mean, at least they went in a better direction. They did Venom.
Yeah.
But also
They're doing Morbius, and that looks kind of cool.
I like the Spider-Verse more than all the stuff they're doing right now.
I think the reason why that the second one was so bad was because they went Gwen Stacy
dying.
No. The reason it went really bad, if you actually pay attention, they were trying to set up so many different movies into one.
Yeah.
That's not why Gwen Stacy. That story was still really good.
Also, it was the Green Goblin was.
If you guys didn't,
they had the
Felicia Hardy was in it.
Yeah, I said that they were gonna make a Black Cat movie. I told you if you watch this movie, it was an advertisement for multiple other movies. The problem with all these cinematic universes right now, they're all trying to
have the rights to.
Yes, anything that has Spider-Man in it that they were premiered or anything, they have rights to. So they have the rights.
Why they were making
but Catwoman's not usually.
No, this is Black Cat, not Black
Black Cat. Sorry, you said it first.
You said Black Cat.
Okay.
Did I?
Listen, it's because that new Batman movie's coming.
Yeah,
out
which my God, which is looking really good. I'm still gonna go see it. Coming out around my birthday.
I don't know how I feel about rough Robert Pattinson, but
I showed you the trailer.
Well, I saw it, but I don't know how I feel about it, Kyle.
They have a
Robert Pattinson is a Twilight, Cedric Diggory,
Watch him in Tenet. I will give you a pat. If there's a pat for Tenet, I will have you watch it.
It looks good.
Anyway, this is not even Marvel.
Yeah, we're getting into arguments in the DC universe.
So anyway, Andrew Garfield shows up, right? Which his films, that's where the Lizard, that's where Electro comes from, and that's why Peter Parker knows nothing about them. And he shows up. They want to test him because they don't trust him at all. So he does the web slinging and stuff like that.
Yeah, MJ throws bread at him.
Yep. Yeah, he's like, I have Spidey sense, but it doesn't work for bread. And he's like,
and then
she's like, do you get the tingles or whatever she called them?
No, my favorite part, he just goes like this. See?
Yeah.
Ned's grandma asked him
to clean the spider web.
Spider web.
Yeah. So. While you're up there, can you clean?
Yeah, we got Toby. We got Toby. Well, between during that thing before that whole thing.
No,
they did that thing, but then we had a child priest come out.
That was all after that.
No, that was during that. He didn't do that until he's on top of the
the scene was Andrew went up by himself. Toby wasn't even there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Andrew went up and cleaned the spider webs because when he showed up, they fought. They shot at each other, and then she asked them to clean the webs that they shot.
Yeah.
So basically, yes. So now they're like, okay, Ned, try again because we'll look for another Peter. And then you see Pastor Dan, Pastor
Parker.
Yeah, because he's in his cardigan, so
Which, by the way, Ned got that thing going on.
Yeah, in the comics, believe it or not, even though he's supposed to be the Hobgoblin does have magic sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, that's cool. But which it's funny because later on he's like, I promise I'll never kill you. But we don't know. It might go there, man.
Yeah.
Some things can happen, and things.
I mean, Parker did fuck up the whole entire thing.
Well, yeah, but
we gotta get to. We're getting there.
Anyway.
So what happens is, we find out they ask him what they just found out what happened, Aunt May, and
so Toby shows up. Toby Maguire.
Yeah. After Toby Maguire, and they asked him, did they go to a special place?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, they asked where's Peter's special place because all the Spider-Mans have special places.
Yep.
And so they go there.
That was the rooftop of the school, right?
Yeah, rooftop. Yeah, it was the rooftop of the school. So and then they show they're like, you have people here to see you, and then he gets in a defensive stance for a second, and the two Spider-Man
came out.
Yeah, because they're holding holding on to the wall up there, and then they bounce down.
Coming out of the shadows.
Yeah, and then they
they bond over who they cared about and what happened in their universes.
Yeah, because he starts talking about what his Aunt May said, and they're like, that's what our Uncle Ben said because they both had an Uncle Ben. And which, by the way, Uncle Ben, they might do a flip flop and make Uncle Ben show up later on we don't know. Like, it could happen eventually, because it's not confirmed that Uncle Ben actually died.
Yeah.
So, he might show up. Who knows?
Yeah.
And then, maybe he has, like, a guardian or something. Who knows? But anyway, so they bond over that. And also the Spider-Mans had this, like, weird intuition that they needed him. They had, like, this weird, like, spider bond going on for some reason. Because Tobey's like, I have this, like, weird inclination that he really needs me right now. And then Andrew Garfield said the same thing.
Yeah.
So they, after that, they talk a little bit. They go to, like, the school science lab, I think it was?
Yeah, it was.
Wait, can we just talk about how Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, like, described his Gwen Stacy to his MJ?
Yeah.
He was like, she's my MJ. I was like, I'm dead.
Yeah, well, because to anybody who doesn't know, Gwen Stacy gets her neck snapped, which is what happens in the actual comics.
We do find out.
They went with what it's supposed to be.
And she was in the same outfit on how she died in the comics.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because normally MJ comes in way later on,
Yeah.
like after college or like, during or whatever. But, now in the movies, they have to just kind of simplify it. It's either Gwen or it's MJ, so. Which even in the Tobey Maguire ones, he was like just out of high school in the first film or like about to graduate high school.
And apparently he got dark afterwards after she...
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah, but anyways.
Anyway, they do Science Bro stuff, like trying to figure out cure for all
three Peters and Ned. They're all talking about stories and like they both said how their best friends tried to kill them.
Yep.
And like
Ned goes, "I will never try to kill you."
Yeah, he's like, "Don't worry, Peter. I'll never try to kill you."
I do like Peter. What?
Yeah, they all look.
They're like,
they did the meme.
Yeah.
So, I like that it was more clever, but not like in your face.
Yeah.
So then, my favorite part is when they're talking on the statue. But so first, they finish everything that they're doing.
They figured out the soul,
and then they ask Peter, like Tobey Maguire, if he even has a suit. And he's like, "I'm smart about this. I keep it under. I'm not wearing this shit all the time." Yeah. And like he shows that he has it under the pastor. He's like, "Are you gonna?"
What are you born
He's
with
like,
it?
"He's like, are you gonna go with a pastor?" So then, later on,
Peter sends a message to the world.
Yeah, Peter
telling them
calls
No,
but I think in the science lab is when he shoots his web, and and then they're like,
no,
he shoots it in the science lab. Yeah, and then he so he shoots the web in the science lab. I don't remember what he was shooting at, but then they asked him, they're like, "Did that just come out of you?" They're like, and then he's like, because Peter makes a no, I remember. So Peter says, "I gotta go pick up web cartridges," right? And then he's like, "Web cartridges? What do you mean?" And then Andrew and him are like, "Oh, well, we made this device to be able to shoot webs." And then he's like, "Oh." And then he just shoots. And he's like, "Did that just come out of you?" And he's like, "I have so many questions right now." He's like, "Also, can that come out of any other holes?" It's like, and then he's like, "I can't explain it to you." He's like, "You don't think about breathing. You just do it." And I was like, "That makes a lot of sense."
Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. But Peter does...
But so that Peter is technically the strongest Peter. Because he doesn't have to deal with electro or gadgets malfunctioning, or he is just being able to shoot it. The regular universe Peter is definitely stronger than the other.
Although he did lose his power in the second one.
But that was because of
he had a web
he had an emotional he had a web block. But that doesn't ever happen again once he learns. But so they end up going to the statue.
Before he did that, Peter sent a message to the world saying, tell the Sinister Five to meet him at the new Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, and that
which is very important because
and he talks about his Aunt May too.
Yeah, which is kind of important because it's something that happens in the MCU where they put a Captain America shield on there as a memorial to Captain America and as a memento to the Falcon.
Yeah, because they have stuff for Iron Man in places too. But basically. Yeah, so they're rebuilding the Statue of Liberty with the Captain America shield. And he calls J. Jonah Jameson, and he tells him, like, everybody deserves second chances. He's like, you guys should come here. He's like...
it looked like he was live streaming through there.
He did.
Yeah, he was.
He called him. Because now J. Jonah, he's got... Originally, he was, like, working out of, like, his house or something.
Yep, just like everybody.
And then when he, like... When he was the one that commented about Spider-Man, now he's got sponsorships and, like, he's got this huge office and people working with him. And, yeah, so... We forgot to mention that, but...
J. Jonah pretty much became rich over Spider-Man.
Yeah, so basically, they're all talking on... This is, like, my favorite scene. where they're all talking.
They're waiting while they're
waiting for them all.
Yeah.
He's like, they start talking and they're like, first that happens.
Oh, before I forget
like,
this, don't forget that some of the villains got upgrades. So like one of the villains. Well, we can explain. I can explain it really quick. Electro got the arc reactor.
Yeah,
so that's one. We know Octopus Doc Ock got the chip back.
Mm-hmm.
Sandman will.
Wait, was Doc Ock still evil?
No.
I'm just saying they got upgrades.
No, he's saying the upgrades.
Yeah, and then the only upgrade for Green Goblin is his hoodie, which gave him.
Yeah, which that kind of like creeped me out a little bit.
Hold on, where are we? There we go. Which gave us our super comic book accurate version of Green Goblin for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then this is what I think was really cool. Electro getting this, and it looks like the costume from the movie.
Yeah, that was awesome.
the arc reactor. Because the power on this universe is so much stronger because they don't have Tony Stark in their other universe. So
yeah.
But basically, so they start talking, and the first thing that happens is Toby's talking about how like his back, he's got to like crack his back. It's not that it hurt; it's just he's got to do some stretches. And then Andrew Garfield's like. He's like, let me crack it. He's like, I get that too. He's like the lower back web swing crack. He's like, yeah. And then, dude, which by the way, Spider-Man's got super strength. So what does a back crack to another Spider-Man feel like? Like if that happened to you, you'd probably just die.
Yeah, I probably would die.
A Spider-Man can probably only back crack another Spider-Man or like a Captain America or like a Like
and it looked like a clean cut.
Yeah,
like
and when I went to go see it again, by the way, Kyle,
like the old school...
I was sitting closer, and you could actually hear the crack.
Yeah.
When we were doing it, you couldn't hear it, but like because everybody was so loud all the time, but like because everybody was laughing. But with less people, I could hear the crack. It was like a clean like.
I think the reason why he had like back problems was because
he said web swing.
Yeah, remember he lost his power.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was trying to like swing, and then all of a sudden he like fell off the building and like hit a couple cars.
Well, yeah, but
you always recover from.
Yeah, he's always recovering. No, he said it's from web swinging all the time because the lower back is taking on a lot of the muscle. Yeah, imagine like constantly having to Tarzan swing. Your lower back will get tired and your arms, but because the webs are doing most of the work, like especially in Tobey Maguire's case where he doesn't have to have a machine that's doing it. He just says that his lower back, so that's where Tom Holland is headed, his lower back problems.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then they start talking about
their adventures. Also, they do.
Andrew says how he's like nothing. He keeps like down talking himself. Andrew's version of like.
Well, he also lost like Gwen Stacy, but he also said he went into a dark place.
So he's in a very different. I think he said that he came out of it a little bit. Like he went into a dark place first, but then. He kind of came out of it. Yeah. Because, he's being hopeful right now.
I like how they were just hanging out.
Yeah.
That was kind of the point.
Andrew Garfield's character was just like this.
Yeah, so,
and then we also got confirmation.
He's like, I've never had brothers before,
And then all of a sudden you see Tom in the background.
Well, don't really also explain what happened with Toby's character in other movies. Like, he kind of gives a brief, like,
well,
it gets complicated.
He also explained with that, but they made it work, he said.
Yeah.
So him and MJ did end up working.
Yeah.
He said they make it work.
They might have had a child, too.
Yeah, maybe. He said that they made it work, so.
Yeah.
Nobody blew up from spider babies this time, or whatever happened the first
radioactive.
time. Yeah, radioactive. Whatever.
Spider-Man Rain.
Yeah, whatever. We're not talking about it.
Spider-Man Rain was so weird.
No, stop it. They're not going to talk about it. Anyway, so they're talking. This is like probably like one of the best scenes of the film. And they're talking about what's the strongest people that they've fought. And Andrew Garfield just keeps downplaying himself. And then Toby's like, all right, he's like, I want you to say you're amazing. He's like, say it. You're amazing. He's like,
because you are.
No, he's like, good, I need to hear that. He's like, no, say it. You're amazing. And he's like, I'm amazing. It's like,
no, they talked about...
that's the amazing, that's the amazing universe, so it's kind of funny that...
Yeah, no, they did. I love what they talked about. I fought a giant rhino and a guy in a
No, but the other Peters went first. He's like, because Toby brought it up. Or no, Tom Holland brought it up. He's like, my strongest was I fought a purple alien out in space and on space that like almost took over the entire universe or like ruined
wiped out half
a life. And then he's like, then the other Toby's like, I also fought a black alien,
Yep.
He's like, that was definitely the strongest that I fought. He's like, well, I didn't fight any aliens. I fought this giant Russian rhino.
Paul Giamatti. What's funny about that guy is that he actually played...
Paul Giamatti?
Yeah, Paul Giamatti. He actually played the Rhino twice.
Yeah.
In one for the movies and one for the Spider-Man games. He really wanted to play Rhino.
Oh, I didn't even know that was him until I rewatched it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so they talk, and then they're waiting for them to all show up. They call themselves brothers. They name themselves Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Peter 1, Peter 2.
Yeah, Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3. And
Tom Holland's the number 1.
So now the boys show up. Electro shows up first because obviously he's the quickest one to get there because he's fucking electricity. And then I believe Reptile shows up second.
Fucking it up.
And then Sandman also shows up. And so they all start fighting, and they're having a really hard time coordinating. So they have like a powwow really quick, and they're like, "Okay, we gotta coordinate this. We gotta go."
We never worked on a team together.
Like, yeah, we've never worked on a team.
I have. I worked on the Avengers.
He's like,
what's
cool.
the Avengers?
He's like, cool. No, he goes, cool. What's that? He's like,
what is that? Is that a boy band?
You guys don't have the Avengers? Yeah. He's like, do you guys not have the Avengers?
Is that a boy band?
He's like, do you guys?
I think
like,
he's
like, you know, Earth's Mightiest Warriors. He's like, you know. But anyway, so it's like...
Yeah, and then we got one of the most cinematic scenes right there.
Dude, where they're all winging?
Yeah.
Where they're all, like, flinging each other? That was so cool.
Well, no, they're just
where they're all web
flinging
shooting off of each other. Like, that was so cool.
No, just them just flying over, getting ready for, like, that big money shot scene.
Yeah, no, but they were flinging
things.
off of each other.
Yeah.
Do you remember they were, like, they shot webs at each other? They were flinging off of each other.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about, like, this... Oh, yeah, probably during that scene where they all landed.
Yeah. So
that scene
they
is the money
decided to focus... Yes, that's the money scene. They decided to focus on... one person at a time. Yeah,
instead of like doing multiple ones because they're stronger together than to divide.
Oh, also, MJ and Ned are there, and they're trying to close the portal because the mission was they were going to show up there with the cube to make them all show up, and then Ned and MJ were going to leave so that they were safe, but Ned is having problems closing the portal, and he actually ends up opening the portal to... First it's like a wave, and it like washes the reptile away. And then the second time, he gets Doctor Strange, and he like comes in and he's like, "I've been hanging over the Grand Canyon,"
which is a callback actually.
Which is funny.
A callback to Thor Ragnarok for Loki.
That was a great callback.
But anyway, so Doctor Strange shows up and he like kind of acknowledges Ned for a second. He's like, "Did you open that?" And he's like,
"Yes, sir."
Huh. And then just walks away. I was like, oh, Ned, let's go. Our boy, the mini Sorcerer Supreme. Let's go. Next Sorcerer Supreme. But anyway, because he had his ring. I think we mentioned it, but because Doctor Strange's ring came out of the portal and Peter took it, and then Ned's been using it. What do they call them? The sling rings?
The sling rings, I think.
Sling ring or something?
So, magic rings, we'll just call them.
I think they're called sling rings.
I gotta rewatch
that. Sounds right. But...
No,
especially...
You can't use magic rings because of Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
No, that's 8 rings.
That's the 10 rings.
That's the 10 rings, right? Yeah. No, look, as long as... And then if it's 5, you gotta be careful because then your Power Rangers, depending on...
There you go.
You gotta watch how many... But anyway...
I haven't used rings yet as Morphers.
I know.
I know, that's why I'm making the joke.
Yeah, but anyway. So fucking, and then if you have one ring, you're the Lord of the Rings. But anyway.
One ring.
No, but you know that not to get too tangent, but you know that there's actually more than one ring in the Lord of the Rings, but they just like make it seem like it's like the God ring. There is more rings in the story, but they just never show any.
Get off the rings.
There's like 9. There's like 9 or 10.
You gotta get off this ring tangent.
Yeah, but anyway, so
later.
So then they fight. They finally working well together. They turn. So Sandman traps Toby. They turn Sandman back.
Yep.
He's the first one to get changed.
And you want to hear a fun fact about that scene, actually? A couple of scenes of them turning back. It's actually the Sandman scene from the movie when he gets transformed, but it's in reverse.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they got the original actor back, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, these films are so expensive, anything to...
don't forget...
Anything to save a little bit of money is
and don't forget, it was also it was one of the first movies being made during COVID.
Do you know how many people they were probably paying? Because
I meant during the Backstreet Boys tour. You can't use that word because YouTube's algorithm.
YouTube, no, they fixed that. You can
Good.
Talk about it.
Good. I don't have to say the Backstreet Boy tour.
Yeah, no, the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. But anyway, that's a game.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so
I had to do that.
Yeah. So basically, So they turn him. Then they get Reptile, and then they get so Electro. They're having a really hard time fighting him until Doc Ock shows up. Makes it seem like for like a split second that he's helping Electro, but then he says no, those are mine, and then he turns around while looking at them and just grabs him.
Yeah.
And then pulls that like electric thing that gets rid of the electricity in his body, which is like
the arc reactor.
Supercharged this time. No, not the arc. That thing that.
The supercharged antidote.
Yeah, the antidote. Yeah, and then he puts it on him, and then it went super quick.
Like
this time.
they realized the only way to get rid of that was like.
Yeah, it had to happen right away. Yeah. Which because now they had the other Peter that's worked with it already. He said, "I've already done this, so let me, And same thing with Reptile. So basically,
same thing with that one too. That's just reverse footage.
Yeah, exactly. So
I love how he just like speared it.
Yeah. So then Doctor Strange finds out that Peter's thing is actually working, but now the Goblin shows up,
and also the universe and the multiverse collapsing.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange runs up trying to save it while Peter's fighting the Goblin, and he Tom Holland has a second. Oh, also when stuff's happening with Reptile after Goblin shows up, after they save mostly everybody, and then the Goblin shows up, the building starts falling, and then Ned gets caught. So the MJ and Ned start falling. Now Ned gets caught by the cape. He gets caught by the cloak of
the cloak of levitation.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's got some name. Yeah, the cloak of levitation. And then MJ, Peter goes to save
this scene.
Toby. It's Tom Holland. He goes to save MJ, then he gets absolutely glidered by Green Goblin. He gets caught by. So then MJ's falling, and then you see our boy. This made me cry. Andrew Garfield.
I heard.
This is the one that got me really bad. Andrew Garfield coming down. It's redemption time, baby. She dies. No, I'm kidding.
What Spider-Man movie were you watching?
The way he gave that
he cried
to her was just.
Yeah, because he landed and he had his mask off. So he's like crying and like.
Never
he
again.
He felt so much better. He's like, never again. He's like,
which hilarious. A lot of people were predicting that line.
Yeah, we said that he was gonna save her. We're like, if he's in that dropping thing has to be him.
Yeah.
Because now in the trailer,
that dropping thing was a misled, but at the same time was true because you could still see like that was still Tom Holland trying to save her, but they cut it right there.
No, but remember he did try to save her.
Yeah, no.
But then he got grabbed away.
No, I'm just saying they kept it there, but they didn't cut. They cut away to when he gets hit.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
The only thing they fucked up with in the trailer was it showed Reptile getting punched by Andrew Garfield.
Only in Brazil.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brazil.
What?
Yeah, in the trailer.
In the trailer, if you've watched the Brazilian version,
it has 2 extra seconds of that scene where they're all jumping at each other, and it shows Reptile getting punched by an invisible force.
His name is Lizard. He's not a Mortal Kombat character.
Sorry, I keep saying Lizard. Yeah, I don't know why I keep saying Reptile.
You've been watching Mortal Kombat again, haven't you?
That's not why, no.
Well, technically.
Lizard.
He's a reptile.
Yeah, but you get my point though. The names.
Yeah. So Tom Holland gets taken away. He's fighting with him. Andrew Garfield gets the mega redemption, and this got me so.
I remembered.
I was. That got me so mad.
The whole movie,
I remember when we heard that everyone screamed redemption.
Yeah, everybody was freaking out.
I remember. That.
I haven't seen a crowd freak out like this since I went to go see the last film of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And Endgame.
Yeah. Endgame, yeah. Oh, Endgame and Infinity Wars.
Yeah, honestly.
Not like the clapping, but just the end of the shock and everything.
No, but the last film, the last one of Endgame, people were freaking out.
Yeah.
But because this had more spoilers in it. Because you didn't know that all these people were coming.
Yeah, believe it or not, Marvel kept only 40 minutes of footage to the reviewers.
Yeah, which is crazy.
No,
I mean they even lie to their actors though. Do you remember what they did for the last 2 Avengers films? They gave them all different scripts.
They still are doing that.
Yeah, just to make it so that they don't know what's going on.
I mean,
and it's all thanks to Tom Holland.
Oh no, Mark Ruffalo
and Mark Ruffalo.
They're both very bad.
Because Mark Ruffalo had his phone
Tom Holland not anymore though.
Yeah, well because they babysit him.
Yeah.
Listen,
Benedict Cumberbatch comes around with him.
Beep.
He's his babysitter.
But they had Zendaya the whole time now.
Yeah, but it's funny.
Beep.
Yeah, but anyway, so he gets in a battle with the Goblin.
Yep.
And he almost kills him, but other Peter Tobey Maguire comes and saves him. He's just like, no, you can't do this because he's about to stab him with the glider. And then as that's happening, Tobey gets stabbed by the Green Goblin, which is fine. He goes, he's like, his mind, I've been stabbed before.
You know what's funny?
And he knocks Green.
Doesn't Peter Parker have spider senses? Not if emotional stakes are alright, good enough.
What the hell?
Yeah, but I don't know. He's getting old. Give him the benefit. He's like, it takes a second for that Spidey sense to come up through the dust.
No, it's just funny when pitch.
Yeah.
No, I didn't love pitch meetings where they just they're like, no, but we want to do this for emotional.
Because honestly, since he didn't, I thought he was gonna die, but since he didn't die, like, what was the reason for him getting stabbed? Like, they could have just had him dodge or something. I don't know.
He was gonna die.
But maybe he took it thinking that maybe he would have stabbed Tom Holland next or something. I don't know. He probably had his reasons, but anyway, he's used to it. He's used to getting stabbed. But so they end up turning him and saving him.
No, he got in the way before getting stabbed. That's why I was like, isn't Peter Spider sense supposed to go off?
No, I get that, but maybe he just let it happen for some reason. I don't know. We don't know. Yeah. Maybe he didn't want Tom Holland to get stabbed or something. I don't know. But regardless, you're right. But regardless, but anyway, so they end up hitting him with the formula, and they save him. Yep. They save the Goblin, and he's really upset about what he did. But luckily, Tobey Maguire doesn't die. He just got stabbed. He says, fine, it's a normal day.
And this is the most emotional part, and probably one of the most comic book things I've ever seen someone do.
Oh, yeah, this is like end of Secret... This is like end of the Civil War, or like, you know, how they do...
Like in the comics? Yeah. Actually, it's actually more like One Last Day, which is one of the most controversial Spider-Man comics of all time, where... He makes a deal with the devil to save Aunt May to get his identity wiped. Like just a Spider-Man, but it comes at the cost of his marriage. So.
Yep. And that's the closest we'll ever get to that. Just like WandaVision's the closest we'll ever get to House of M.
Yeah, like this is but this is like literally the most comic booky thing I've ever.
Oh yeah, so
like a reboot slate.
So he talks to the Spider-Mans and he thanks them. He goes up to Doctor Strange.
No, the reason what he does is the multiverse opens up. You see a bunch of villains like Scorpion.
Yeah, you can see Rhino. Yeah, so a lot of villains and bad people are coming through that know, you know, in every universe. I mean, there's a lot of them.
Coming right into the MCU.
Yeah, so like they're
so
not
Peter was like, instead of Spider-Man, why don't we erase me?
Because Doctor Strange says he can't change it now. Even canceling the spell doesn't.
No, that's what I was trying to say. So he comes up with this, you know?
Yeah, he says, if you erase that Peter Parker ever existed, would that fix everything? And he said, yes. So he's like, all right. He's like, go say goodbye. He's like, I'm not going to do that. He's like, I'm not going to do that to you. And he's like, that means everybody that loved you is going to be gone. And he's like, and he said us. He said all of us that love you and know you, and we're not going to know you. So, and like Doctor Strange didn't want to do it, but Peter like kept pushing him and told him that he's ready to do it.
Yeah, and he pretty much just says like, "It's nice knowing you, Spider-Man."
Which, by the way, how
this is the most Tony Stark way to go out.
Yeah. Which, by the way, how Doctor Strange is up there just holding everything together.
What a god! What a god!
He is a freaking G.
I love him.
I love them.
Like he's
like keeping the cracks at.
He's such a gangster.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah. But yeah, so he gives Peter like a minute to go and say goodbye to everybody. He goes and talks to the Peters, and he thanks them, and you know they say the brothers line again, and you know they hug, and then he goes and talks to Mary Jane, and Ned,
Mary Jane was like saying, "Come and find me."
Yeah, and then she says, "I love you," but she tells him not to say it back. She says, "Say it back the next time I see you."
Yep.
And you know that he swings away, gives one final look at her, and then the spell gets cast, and then the Peters get sent back to the universe because you see the waves happen, and then the other villains get sent back to the universe. Which it would be cool if like they did an update on what happens to the villains in some way. Maybe in like a show or like I don't know if they do like another multiverse kind of thing. I
think we'll probably see them again if it's true and what they're setting up right now. We're going multiverse and stuff.
I heard that they're gonna get like a one major universe.
Well, did you hear about the new news or like the new?
No. I was gonna say before we get to that, I was gonna say we might see them again in Secret Wars.
Because I'm wondering if they're gonna do a thing like they did in the CW where they just merge everything.
Yeah, that's Secret Wars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they merge all the worlds into one for Battle World for a big event.
Yeah.
Which I think they should go into like this is the whole phase. Secret Wars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because that's when they can also add X-Men.
Yeah. Well, no,
Because
X-Men.
They've been trying to.
They can add X-Men at any time. I'm just saying they can.
They
just
should be.
But it's what universe are they in? And where's Deadpool coming in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but eventually it's gonna happen.
Gotta talk about Deadpool. Can't talk about mixing universes without talking about Deadpool.
No, but that's what I'm saying. No, but that's when you go and separate
Uh-huh.
it. That's when you bring in the Deadpool. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Although I would just be like, what the? What are you in here for?
I wonder if Loki's gonna be involved with that. What if like the second season of Loki is gonna be big into that?
I think so.
And obviously Doctor Strange with the House of Madness, or what was it called?
Multiverse of Madness. But anyway, let's get back to the movie. Let's get back to the movie.
So, well, I said they all went away, and Peter,
not just that. Peter's now on his own.
Yeah, Peter's,
tries to tell MJ, sees a little bit of that scar, and just as I can't. He did the responsible choice.
Yeah, he weakened out and chose not to speak.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we see this happen in like other comics, or we see this happen in other shows where they choose not to tell people when they get second chances, and it never turns out well.
Yeah. It
always ends up being worse when you're with less people.
Yeah. But like he
needs to learn that. He probably should have learned that from the fact that the Avengers exist.
Yeah.
That you need to conjoin with certain threats, and you need multiple people in your life. You can't exist on your own. And he even ends up getting his own apartment, which feels like the first films.
Yeah.
Where he moves into his own shitty apartment.
He's a high school dropout.
Yeah, its own shitty apartment. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was at college.
No, he's a high school dropout. If you look at the book.
Wasn't Toby? No. Well, in the comics, but
no, he's a high school dropout. If you look in the background, it says GED. That's what I was trying to say.
No. You're saying in that film.
Yeah.
I was talking about in the Tobey Maguire film.
No. That's different.
He was in college.
Yeah, no, he's trying to get back into college and trying to get life back.
Yeah. You're talking about Tom Holland.
Yeah, and
so Tom
listen,
Holland. Yeah,
perfect time.
It wasn't his last year of high school.
Yeah. Don't forget, they now they need to bring back the most greatest villain of all time. Rent? Where's the rent, Peter? They need to bring him back.
Oh my God, that guy?
Yes.
Oh, with his daughter, his hot ass daughter.
Yes.
Who was always hitting on Peter.
Hi,
Peter.
Oh yeah.
Yes. They need to bring him back.
Bring him the most awkward sexual tension of all time.
And they need to age her. They need to get a different actor for her.
Bye, Peter.
Bye, Peter.
They need to age her down, but keep the guy. Rent. Peter, rent my rent.
Oh my God, I would love that if they just had that.
Bring Marvel, bring him back.
But anyway, so he goes to the grave. Happy shows up. Happy has no idea who he is, and they have a conversation about he knew him through Spider-Man, and so Happy still knows that Spider-Man exists
because they just said Peter Parker.
I'm glad that they did that because I know that they said Peter Parker, but at least Spider-Man's deeds exist, so that might mean that the Avengers slightly know who Spider-Man is still.
He's always wearing a mask.
Because he's probably still involved. Yeah. But what happens is they probably just remember him as never revealing his identity.
Yeah.
So that's still a tie-in for him to probably be able to be involved in things that happen in the future. But they just don't know who he is.
Yeah, but it's like I said.
And Tony Stark, that also means that Tony Stark never passed anything on to him also. So.
Yeah. Also, after the whole thing, he finally makes his own comic book suit. Mm-hmm. His own accurate comic book suit.
That is such
Shiny boy.
Such a cool outfit.
Shiny boy.
The
shiny blue.
Chris was telling me it's probably the most comic book.
I didn't know. I had mixed feelings about the suit, but also when I looked back at it, I was like, it kind of looks cool. Mm-hmm. Like, it looks
cool. So the mid-credit scene was Venom.
Yeah, he's pretty much just playing catch up, and then all of a sudden the spell kicks in.
He's
and
in
goes,
Mexico. He didn't end up in New York. He's in Mexico randomly.
Yeah.
Partying it up, because that's where he was in his other universe. He took a vacation at the end of the second one.
For Venom.
Yeah.
Hey, you are drunk.
And then this guy is trying to catch him up on everything that's happened in the MCU in 12 hours.
Like 12 hours.
Yeah. So they're like, let's go see this Spider-Man, and then they just get blinked.
No.
Although
he left a drop.
Go skinny dipping.
Yeah. But so he left a little black symbiote. So
We're
Venom is
getting
now
in the
universe.
black suit.
Yeah, either the black suit or somebody else is gonna be.
It's gonna be
like-
Flash Thompson. I have a feeling.
Yeah, but I mean, how's it gonna get all the way from Mexico to?
I told you he's gonna drop out of college, join the military, get his legs broken, and then he's gonna be stationed in Mexico, and then he finds the black goo, and then becomes Agent Venom.
Would they do another? Would they do
We
another
all read.
Eddie?
I read the comics.
Would they do another Eddie, or because of Tom Holland?
Tom did
Hardy?
you not hear what I just ranted? They're going to bring. This is what's gonna happen. They're gonna have Flash
Well, Peter's
flunk
gonna
out
have.
of college.
So Peter's gonna have
He's
to
gonna
get a
join
job.
the military, and then he's gonna get his legs broken, and then he's gonna be.
Oh
stationed
no
in
no no!
Mexico.
I got it.
Nah.
Here's what's
Agent
gonna-
Venom.
No, here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be Peter's gonna have to get a job. He's gonna realize that he's got sick camera skills. He's gonna work for the Daily Bugle, and then Eddie Brock's gonna be around, and Eddie
Yeah.
Brock is gonna go do a piece in Mexico about crime, and the symbiote's gonna be there, and he's gonna become.
But yeah,
It's gonna be Eddie Brock.
but I feel like
Would
this is.
they bring?
They would bring
him
Eddie into it.
Listen, I'm telling you
They
guys,
already
if
have
if
Tom
Marvel wants to
Hardy.
do something different and just
So,
show they
I
don't
don't-
want to step on Sony, they're just gonna be like.
We already have
only-
multiple Flash Thompsons.
Yeah, but we
So-
We have 3 Flash Thompsons.
but we never had a
True.
Flash Venom Thompson. Have you
All
not?
right, relax, relax. Everybody's got to be in a Venom suit.
Hold on, I gotta show you what the Agent Venom looks like. Hold on, Eddie.
Oh, no.
Eddie. No, it looks really cool. For all you who don't know, wait, I put Eddie Brock. Okay, I'm gonna show everybody what a Flash Thompson Venom looks like. He looks way different, and he actually becomes less of a douchebag.
Well, because Flash Thompson was always less of a douchebag. Eddie Brock was always a douchebag.
Yeah, well, when he's in the military, he humbles down.
That's him.
Yes.
Flash
He looks more like a Spider-Man.
Yeah, but that's what he actually.
He's got
looks like.
guns. God
he looks
damn.
like a.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go in this direction.
He looks like a mixture.
That makes
of,
sense.
Cause think about it, if you don't want to overstep
He
on
looks
it,
like the Punisher mixed with like.
Yeah, Captain
Yeah.
America.
and he gets this by being in the military, but he gets crippled. But they said, "Hey, do you want to walk again?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So they put
So
him
they
in the
give him
Flash. They give him the Venom suit.
But why would he go in the military, Kyle, when he's a genius?
Exactly.
Why would he need to go to the military?
He realizes college
He's a
isn't for
genius.
him.
What do you mean? He's a genius. He's like top 4 at like their. He's a top student. He got into MIT, Kyle.
Listen, a Brainiac guy could be good with the gun.
Look.
I'm just saying it could happen.
All right. Anyway, so the last scene is they show a trailer for the new Doctor Strange film, which they show Scarlet
Which
Witch.
I'm
can
excited.
we talk about that
Scarlet
first?
Witch is probably a god now.
Not like the universe, but
She's a
I
goddess.
really like
I
that they
love
did
her.
it this way, where you kind of get a sneak peek of the next movie,
Yeah.
and you also get like
Instead of them just showing them
Well,
eating
they
shawarma.
no,
They
it's
showed
not
the
just
next-
that. It also shows like Doctor Strange will
They
return.
did that for
I like that as a return more than anything.
They did that for I forgot what one they did it. Oh, they did it for Captain America. I think the
For-
first one.
For Avengers.
Yeah, for the first Avengers.
You mean when Nick Fury was showing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well that's a little bit different.
No, they showed it like the
But
trailer
they
in.
showed
Oh,
the trailer for
At the end of the
first
credits.
Right.
Avengers.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah,
But
which is great. They show Samagosa or something.
that was some of the best end clips when Nick Fury showing up at the end of most of the films and like, man, where have we gone?
We have gone into the multiverse of
Can we
madness.
talk about where Nick Fury is now?
He's
They
in
said
space.
he's off
He's
planet.
still in space.
Yeah.
They said he's off planet.
Yeah.
Remember, there is 2 Nick Furies because there's that alien one.
Oh, the Kree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Kree that disguises as
Yeah.
Nick Fury all the time. And then, as confirmed in what do you call it?
Far from home.
WandaVision.
If you're talking about the Alien Creed,
Oh, wait.
then I'd say
Yeah.
no, Far From Home.
No, that's from the girls' film.
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
See, I was about to say Stargirl, but I'm like, no, it's not Stargirl.
We're in the wrong.
Captain Marvel.
You're in
Yeah.
the wrong gutter.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, Captain Marvel.
But now, can we talk about
Doctor Strange.
Madness?
Madness, yes. And they made What If canon. I told you to watch it, and you're like, no, it's just. And then all of a sudden you,
I did
well, you
hear
did
a
watch
rumor.
it.
Yeah, and then it ended up being really good.
Yeah.
I did hear in a rumor that they were gonna make some of
I
it.
just didn't know how I felt about
And-
like a comic kind of, or like it being a cartoon.
He looks badass, like evil.
Yeah, no, that's Strange. They nicknamed him Strange Supreme.
Yeah, because
Wanda,
he ends up being a god. He ends up being so strong that he needs to be put away
Wanda
by the
looks
Watcher.
incredible in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm a little pissed
they
off.
kind of give you an idea of what the
I'm
film's
a little
gonna be.
pissed.
It's gonna be what we're gonna go through. We get to see the comic book character America, who's a multiverse traveling character. All right, now what's what you're pissed off about?
I'm a little pissed off about WandaVision. Wanda's has sleeves on her costume, and it's so pissed off. She looks so good without those sleeves.
Also,
It's so
can I tell you
stupid,
something?
but,
They make a reference to
you
the
know.
Disney Plus show too, which is great.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But anyway, so before we go, do you want to hear the name that Marvel designated these two Spider-Mans, the Tobey and Andrew one?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, we'll start off with Andrew. He is called the Amazing Spider-Man,
Okay.
Exactly.
which is good.
Which is he has been as close to the Amazing Spider-Man as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, more based on Ultimate Comics, a little bit more. But
And he's thin, just like the comics.
yeah.
So.
Now, are you ready for Tobey Maguire? He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Which I was like, I
mean,
can understand that one.
Yeah.
Then what's Tom Holland?
Tom Holland's your MCU Spider-Man. They haven't given him a designation yet.
Well, he doesn't
So
exist.
that's a definite then.
That's,
Wait, I should have said who?
okay. But anyway, what dumb nicknames aside.
No, that's how you designate
Why
them.
couldn't they just call him the Ultimate Spider-Man?
I mean, he is taking away way
is
too much from
pretty
Miles Morales as it is.
But I mean, the Ultimate is just the universe that he's.
No, I'm talking about the stuff that's taken
Yeah,
from him.
whatever.
Like, he has an Asian best friend named Genki,
Anyway.
which is Ned Lee's.
Yeah,
Can we
I know.
just talk about how there was way too many donuts in this movie?
Which one?
Way too many donuts in this movie?
There was a lot of donuts in this
Because
movie.
you got
Even
Louis
the ending when he
Defoe.
tried to talk to
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
There was a lot of donuts.
A lot of donuts.
Maybe they're just trying to sell donuts. Do you think they got like a Krispy Kreme
You
sponsorship?
think Dunkin' Donuts?
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on
They just
Krispy
like
Kreme.
subconsciously
Should we
were
go
just
now?
like,
Listen.
we gotta go get donuts.
Tom, they done that before. It's called Power Rangers. They literally held the most powerful item in the world underneath a Krispy Kreme.
Oh my god, that's.
And there's literally Krispy Kreme. I'm not even kidding.
Anyway, what do you rate this?
I will give it
5
a,
out of 5. Not even a thought.
I would probably be
We're
like a
doing 5 out of 5?
5 out of 5. It could be 5 out of 5.
It's 100% a 5.
It's a
out of 5.
5 stars.
Yeah. So I want us to talk about.
There's
where
some
we
people
rank
that
it
will-
with the other MCU movies. So here's the problem with Spider-Man though. We rank it as a 5 out of 5
Yeah.
because we've seen everything.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you haven't seen the other Spider-Man, this is like a 4 for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you're coming into this and it's not as exciting,
If it's your first Spider-Man
it's
movie.
not 20
And
years of
also-
Spider-Man.
Don't watch the second Amazing Spider-Man and then come into it and then
Well, you
watch
still
that
got you
one.
still gotta watch
Because
them all
it's
because
just
it's
a
part
lot.
of
You
it.
need to watch
I
every one
understand
of them.
that, but like they have to
It's
to
a
watch
lot of
everything.
emotions.
I understand that. I mean, this is a lot of emotions.
Listen,
too,
can I
but
tell you? Listen,
emotions make
guys,
movies good.
listen. This is how it works.
Because I
Pitch-
did that the other day and then I
Pitch
went
meeting.
Okay.
Pitch meeting. This is what they did. Wow, that's Alfred Marino. That guy was in Chocolat. What about Andrew Garfield? Oh yeah, he's a great actor. He's in Social Network. Sir, I need you to. This won't be as impactful if you don't watch this. If you don't watch the 5 Spider-Man
Yeah,
films.
and also the
And-
Netflix show with the Daredevil.
Yeah, that's just a
Yeah.
a cameo.
That's a little
Little bit.
A little, yeah.
That's it. But and then it goes 11 hours and 46 minutes. Wow, those movies are really incredible. So all right, pitch to me. He's like, okay, Alfred Marino. Oh my God, he's the villain of the second
But yeah,
Spider-Man
so
movie.
I think that this is still even a 4 out of 5, even if you haven't seen them.
Yeah.
But that extra half a point, either a 4 to 4 out of 5, depending on
4
how
or
many of
5.
the films you've seen. If
4.
you're just going into this blindly, it's probably like a 4.
And you need to see Far
But
From
if
Home.
you've seen all the
Yeah.
other Marvel films, not including the Spider-Man ones, it's probably like a 4.5.
Yeah.
But like a child that's never seen anything, or like a parent that's coming in that's never watched anything, this is a 4. If you've seen the MCU stuff, it's 4.5. If you've seen everything like we have, plus the old Spider-Mans, this is like a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
And
agree.
we put this.
Yeah.
So for Marvel fans, like, and people that are going to be like rating this, I put this like right under Endgame.
Yeah.
Which Endgame is my number one.
Endgame is always gonna be my Endgame.
Endgame
Really
is the greatest film that they've ever made.
Yeah.
Both of them, part 1 and 2.
Yeah, as all most of the team up films, it's like up there.
Mm-hmm. And then it's probably after this would be like, I don't know, for me, Shang-Chi was really good. I kind of put Shang-Chi kind of high.
Oh yeah, no, that's the same thing with me.
Shang-Chi's right under it.
Like
I don't know
you
about
can even ask
right under
Kim.
it. I'd
can
probably
even ask
say
him.
like Civil War or like.
Shang-Chi
I
was
like
actually
Civil
your
War a
favorite
lot.
for a little bit.
Oh no, Venom's still my favorite. I have
Really?
the special edition from Target.
Okay.
And it's crazy because Shang-Chi didn't really have any rollovers.
Yeah,
He just gave us a little nugget at the end there.
Yeah.
Where he went to speak
Give
with.
it that little.
Yeah. But yeah.
Shang-Chi's up there. Like
I consider this like a top 5 greatest film that they've ever
listen,
made. Tom.
I literally wanted to buy a steelbook of Shang-Chi, but you know what I did? But you know what I did now because I didn't want this to ice away again.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the steelbook I pre-ordered the steelbook for No Way Home.
Good.
Because the steelbook looked really cool too.
Mm-hmm. This is a much better. This film is amazing. Honestly.
Yeah, no pun intended.
It was.
But I think all the Avengers films are top the top.
No, they're top
Yeah.
tiers.
Yeah, so like and then it's like Civil War, Ragnarok.
brand.
It's always the ones that are mixing things together. Guardians of the Galaxy is
Guardians.
on top for me.
Guardians is really good and very approachable.
Because I
Soundtrack's
think people can
bomb.
just go watch Guardians and just consider it one of their favorite films. of all
Yeah.
time.
You could just go watch Guardians by itself and not know about anything about
Same
the
thing with
MCU.
Shang-Chi. You don't need to know anything that's going on.
Except for the snap.
See, that's why like the Avengers films and all that stuff are top for us because it's like merging everything. But like
crossover.
yeah, because of that. But for most normal people, they would consider like probably Guardians and like Shang-Chi and like just like some of the normal movies like
Yeah, but I guess we'll just end this here today and
5 out of 5.
5 out of
Go see
5 for all.
5 out of 5.
Was there anything like?
Across the board.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that people were good. I didn't get a single thing spoiled for me, which I'm so happy about.
I did
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I just kept myself
Mike
off.
got
today.
something tiny spoiled from Dean on accident because Dean mentioned how the guy was talking about how he's gonna play Kingpin again. And I was like, Mike's watching like the 5th episode of Hawkeye, but Dean, shut up! Like,
A big
Mike
movie like
doesn't know.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dean, shut up!
Dean, just shut
I
up.
was like, don't talk about it. Mike
Yep.
doesn't know.
Sorry,
that's
Dean,
coming.
we love
I was
you.
like, Dean,
Go
shut up!
on YouTube for it.
I was
'cause
like,
that shit got.
Dean, we're sorry to mention you, but we love you. Okay.
I was like, you just spoiled that for Mike. Mike doesn't fucking know yet.
But the spoilers weren't that bad though.
No.
No.
I
But,
mean, you still coming in for it.
And people
even
weren't
though
100% sure because holy shit did Andrew Garfield lie through
Yeah.
his ass.
oh no, that just proves how good of an actor he is.
Oh, dude, they had him on so many times.
Yeah.
American television, like British, English, like everywhere interviewed. He did interviews for the past 3 months because everybody wanted to ask what he was.
What were you doing?
Because everybody kept saying that he was going to be in it. Because they're like, who else would be fighting with him, man?
I'm
What?
definitely going to see it again. I want to go see it again.
It was,
Yeah.
I went to go. Yeah, that was.
I'm probably gonna go see it again.
But anyway, 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
All right, 5 stars out of this. Yeah, I have a friend that didn't like it as much, but he had his gripes about it. But he's reviewing it like a critic, so I can understand his gripes. We're not gonna call up his review, okay? But I'm probably gonna put his review in the link below if you want to hear a more critical review. It's very long, but I do trust him because he loves films.
I mean,
a lot.
this is long too.
Yeah, this is like a 3-hour video. So, hope you all love this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your family, share with your grandmother, share it with them, share it with the dog that you love so much.
Share
Have a
with
great
that
day.
thing.
We have been the Power Rangers in the